Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for The Santa Claus 2. It's a movie starring Tim Allen and the rest of the characters from Santa Claus 1. I know that from seeing them, you might be like, are those the same actors? Because they kind of look very different. Let me IMDb. Yes, they are the same actors. I know, because that's what I did. Alright, so in this movie, Santa, Tim Allen, very happy being Santa Claus, nailing the job. Everybody loves him in the North Pole. He's working with his family life. It's going along great. Other than his kid is on the naughty list, because why wouldn't a teenager be on the naughty list, am I right? So then turns out that there's a clause to the clause in the Santa Claus, and it says that he has to have a Mrs. Claus. And I don't know if you remember this from the first movie. Link of my review in the description down below. But he's divorced from before he even became Santa Claus. So he doesn't have a Mrs. Claus. So he's slowly losing his Santa-ness. So they make a fake Santa out of like rubber, essentially, played by Tim Allen in like more rubbery style makeup. As he slowly loses his Santa-ness and goes back to being just Tim Allen, which, you know, looks... It's funny that you don't think there's that much weight on him until all of the weight is off, and you're like, wow, Tim Allen is a fit gentleman. But basically he has to get married or he'll stop being Santa Claus. So this movie, kind of predictable, because you can kind of see where it's going, and just, you know what? It's the journey that matters. It's not about the fact that you know how this movie is going to end. It's how he gets there. That's fun. Kind of the stuff at the North Pole is honest for weirdly, like, I've only seen this movie I think twice now, once years ago and then now. The stuff going on at the North Pole is kind of the stuff that I remember most of, like the toy soldiers and then just like what happens with the rubber Santa. But watching it this time, while that is the most memorable part to me, to be like, oh, is this the one with that happening? It's also like, kind of feels like padded runtime. I feel like they wanted to keep showing Tim Allen as Santa Claus so you can connect and realize this is the Santa Claus movie, because otherwise, 80-90% of the film, he's Tim Allen, and you want to see him as Santa Claus, so at least you get a version of Santa Claus. But yeah, it did kind of feel like padding the runtime. It felt a little ridiculous, in like, I don't want to say universe breaking, but I felt like it wasn't quite what I would have expected to have happen up there based on the instructions, the capabilities, and just the backstory of all the elves and everything else. Like, I feel like and even just the toy soldiers, like, it just didn't feel like they would, yes, they were memorable to younger me, but are they capable of doing the things that clearly they would have had to do in order to do the things that Rubber Santa did up there? No, they aren't. And that's probably why I don't watch this movie every year. So, watch the Santa Claus 1 as a timeless Christmas classic. Watch this one leading up to the Clauses, because that's what I'm doing. Should probably have watched those others before getting to this review, but as I complete the Santa Claus 3 review, which I don't think I've ever seen, I'll have the description down there, as well as the Santa Clauses review, as I watch the episodes, or when it fully comes out, just depending when I get to it. But so far, this movie, I would say you could probably skip, unless you decide to watch the other ones. I will let you know in those ones if you need to watch this one and or 3 in order to get the idea. But otherwise, just by itself, I would not call this a timeless Christmas classic. As much fun as Tim Allen is and the actors in it, just storyline I find a little lacking. As well as the reindeer, Blitzen, Donner, whoever he brought down with him. Not exactly Jim Henson with those puppets. I don't think that reindeer talking type thing held up as well as they thought it would. I found it distracting and not great. So overall, I'd give this movie like a thumbs up because we're getting more Tim Allen with the third one and with the Clauses, but by itself, a little bit of thumbs down, which is unfortunate for a Christmas movie. Alright, that's all I have for this one. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you at the next one. Bye!